Hey guys, welcome to the video. So, am I an emotional eater? I get this question a lot. So if you would like to answer this question for yourself, you need to watch this video. So let's get started. And before we get started, if you stick around to the end, I'm going to be giving you a link to join my free Facebook group just for women, where I teach you live every week on a Wednesday how to fix your emotional eating problems and lose weight for good. So if you'd like to join that, stick around to the end. I'll be giving you the link later on in the video. So first off, I'd just like to make it super clear that it is okay to eat for emotional reasons. We are humans and it's really good to enjoy food. So food isn't just for fuel. We eat to enjoy, right? But there are times where you feel you are eating and you lose control. You get those urges and those cravings and you don't want to eat. And this is where it becomes inappropriate eating. And this is where it can start to affect you in terms of your weight and up here. So emotional eating, that's fine. It's really good to enjoy food, but it's when it becomes a problem that it is a problem. So what is emotional eating and how do I know if I have emotional eating? So I've written down a list here of things that I think are classed as emotional eating. So first off, my general definition of emotional eating is when you break your promises to yourself over your food choices because of stuff that's going on in your head. So violating your values, telling yourself you're going to do something and then those urges and cravings coming, and then you not knowing how to solve them unless you have that food, unless you have that chocolate, unless you have that cake, unless you have that ice cream. So that's like the general definition of emotional eating. Getting a craving, getting an urge, getting a food compulsion, and you're not really wanting to have that food, but you don't know how to get rid of that feeling unless you have that food. So some people, they will emotionally eat to fill gaps in time. So if they are bored, their mind doesn't want to be empty, so they will emotionally eat to make themselves feel like they are doing something. Some people eat to procrastinate because if they have a task to do and it's quite a big thing, causes stress in your mind, it causes you to think, I feel comfortable when I'm eating, so I have that urge and craving to eat now. And it's usually those things that you don't want to have, but it's that urge, that craving, like I said. And you don't know how to get rid of it unless you have the food. And then you've got stuff like, people say, I eat my feelings, or I eat to change the way I feel. And I eat when I'm angry, I eat when I'm sad, I eat when I'm happy. So different ways of kind of using food to change the way you feel, or even support the way you feel. So I'm really happy, I'm gonna reward myself with something because I've done really well, or just feeling really good, that kind of thing. And then eating or restricting. So often with diets, people will restrict food to get better results because they don't think the approach they're doing will work without restricting. And then you kind of build up the pressure inside you from that willpower and the restriction, which often leads to a binge because of the feeling of being without certain foods and your brain kind of saying stuff to you like, oh, you've been really good, just have one, or you deserve a day off, all those kind of things. And you kind of have one, but it ends up being more than one, more than two, and you end up going or losing control, going out of control. And then you've got stuff like wanting results now, like I need to change, I don't like the way I am, and that emotional effect of I want the results now, I have to have it now, and that affecting your choices and decisions. And then, like I said, breaking your promises to yourself, telling yourself you're going to do something. So I'm going to be really good today. This is like the day I start my diet, and then let's say the afternoon comes around and you get those urges and cravings, and you're like, I'll just have it now and I'll start again tomorrow. Like tomorrow is going to be the day, that kind of thing. And you kind of tell yourself in the moment, but then the next day comes around and then the same thing happens all over again. And eating in secret, things like that. So eating food when people are not watching or people are not around, so they don't judge you. And also basically eating in extremities. So being perfect, doing everything as well as you can, but then when you can't be perfect, you end up not doing anything. You end up being completely off your diet or off whatever you're doing. So So those are some definitions or some ways that people emotionally eat. So basically, again, it's just a general thing of you break your promises to yourself. You end up binging and eating out of control in certain situations when you don't want to be. You're violating your values. And then you have how this affects your life. So what it does to you, how it makes you feel, and the consequences of the emotional eating. So everything from food planning, so those thoughts around food, the worry around food, the stress around food, thinking what you'll eat, when you'll eat, how you'll eat, what happens if someone invites you somewhere, how will you stick to what you're doing, all the problems and the stress and the things going around in your mind because of that. And then you have the guilt around overeating of why did I do that? What's wrong with me? How can I fix myself? Why am I different to everyone else? And those thoughts and feelings around who you are as a person. The negative thoughts about you, yourself, and your abilities. You may be successful in other areas of your life, but in this food area, losing weight and solving your food problems, you've never succeeded. You've tried over and over again, and you've just failed and failed and failed. So you're saying, what does this say about me? Why am I like this? What's this problem? What is wrong with me? Am I broken? And there's that endless thought process around this as well. And also, what are you not doing now because of the way you feel about yourself, your confidence, your weight, and the stress around food? What are you not doing that you'd like to be doing? And what are you not doing as well because of the diet or plan you're following that's so strict that it stops you doing things like going on holiday or seeing friends? I've had clients before that haven't been on holiday because they couldn't follow their diet when they were outside of the house. I've had clients before that didn't want to go out during the day because they didn't want to be seen. All those things, how it's affecting you, can start to consume you inside, and it can change you as a person. And also the compliments you reject because of how you feel about yourself, and you can't take the compliments. And also the people you push away because of the way you feel about yourself and the way it makes you act. The career opportunities you miss because you don't speak up, you don't have the confidence. And also the time you waste doing the same diet or the different diet over and over again, going around in circles and never succeeding. And the money as well, the money you waste on the diet plans, the extra food, the junk food, the chocolate, the cookies, the cake, the ice cream, all those things. And just not feeling complete as a person because you feel there is something wrong with you and you're not succeeding and you're just wasting time trying this and trying that, and nothing is working for you. And most people think that the solution is another diet and even more perfectionism and even more rules around your food. But ask yourself, why didn't the last one work? And why will the next one work if the last one hasn't worked? And yes, you need a sustainable way of eating. However, there are more layers to losing weight than most people expect or realize. Yes, you need the food, but it's what's going on in here. What is it that's making you get those cravings, those urges around food? What is it that's making you break the promises to yourself around things you told you would do, but then that urge comes and you feel so compelled to have that thing that you said you weren't going to have? There are other layers to this problem that you need to solve as well. So the mental and psychological side is so important. So not just the food, but fixing that emotional eating, rewiring your brain to not have the cravings. Also, the motivation, having continual motivation to work towards your goal, not just that push when you start and then you start to relax and the motivation dwindles. You need to learn how to condition and make motivation habits so you get up every day with the drive to reach your goal. And also resolving any mental conflicts, anything up here that's holding you back as well. So fear of failure. What if I try again and I fail again? What's that say about me? Is it better just to not try because I'll feel better by not failing one more time? Of course, that's going to hold you back. And also things like limiting beliefs or ideas around people that do lose weight that may conflict with your identity, things like that. It's very important to think about these mental things. And also, what are the benefits of staying where you are? Because there's always benefits to any situation, and making sure those benefits are not holding you back, because of course, if there's a benefit, then why change as well? Only when you understand these different layers and solve them all, do you get total food freedom? And most people, they don't realize these layers exist. Most diet programs don't have these layers. They're usually just food or movement, exercise. They don't have the psychological side as well. So most people try a diet, they may get some results, but then they end up failing. They try another diet or even the same diet again, they blame it on themselves, and they spend this whole time, years and years and years. I've spoken to people that have done diets since they were a teenager, and this endless cycle of restricting, binging, getting bigger and bigger, and never actually solving that problem. So that's why I work with women to do these things, to actually solve the problem once and for all. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I have a free Facebook group now for women, just for women, where I teach you every week live on a live training how to understand and how to fix emotional eating problems. So if you would like to be part of that group, click the link in the description below and I will accept you into the group and look forward to having you there. So that's it for today. Comment, let me know below. Do you struggle with losing weight? Do you think that you have emotional eating problems? Do you binge on certain foods? Let me know down there in the comments, and like if you haven't already. That always helps these videos, helps more people see them, helps me help more people. And subscribe as well so you get the notifications when I release my next video. So that's it for now. I will see you in the next video.